Well, today I'm at the Manchester Velodrome and I'm picking up my old bike that I raced in 2012 in the London Olympics, won my 5th and 6th gold medals, and I'm absolutely over the moon. It's something that I've been sort of hoping we'd get my hands on at some point, but yeah, it's been years. Sorry I'm late.
No worries,
Old
Chris.
habits die hard.
I'm going to say, what time do you put the call this?
I was dashing in and I was looking at the clock and I was thinking, this is just what it used to be like in the old days.
Yep.
Arriving in the back door.
Phone
get
call.
the bike ready, I'm
running late.
Yeah.
Can you pump your tyres, please?
There it is. Look at that. It just looks right, doesn't it? I mean, come on. Wow. You have polished that to within an inch of its life.
It didn't take much buffing back up.
Ernie Feargrieve, a legend of British cycling, he has gone above and beyond to find all the exact components and the pieces of the bike to bring it back together and to set it up to within a millimetre perfection of where I used to ride it, the position I used to ride in. Look at the size of the tyres. Isn't it mental?
So everything is
Wow.
how you would have ridden it.
Yeah.
So it's your forks, your bars,
Wow.
your frame, cranks you'd have used.
Yep, pedals. I
Pedals.
recognise the straps as well, are they?
They're
You just
what
happen to
you
have-
would have used,
yeah,
but
and
I've
the blue-
the new cut to your length. Of course,
What gear have you put on it for it? 5114?
5114.
Yeah, well, that's the classic gear, wasn't it?
There's only one gear for Chris Oil.
That was it.
Sad enough to even go on the internet to find out exactly where your name was.
Oh, man.
That was still in the same place, and I just needed to make sure I put that back in the same place. Your position,
That's absolutely
as
spectacular.
measured, how
I don't know if
how
I get
we
into that
used
position these days, but
Come on.
it looks amazing. You know what? It's joking apart. It looks like it hasn't aged.
Yeah.
You know, some classic designs, some designs go out of fashion very
yeah.
quickly, and they look quite dated. And you look at them and think, "Ah,
Number of people that have come in and gone, wow.
it's beautiful, isn't it?" Oh, it brings back so many memories. Just walking across the room here, I saw it in the distance, and your heart skips a beat. It's like love at first sight across the room. That's what it is. It's elegant. It's clearly fit for purpose, and yeah, the moments, the history that I've experienced on that bike is something I'll never forget. The saddle does look quite high, though. Ernie assures me that's exactly where it was for me, but yeah, I think my legs are getting shorter in my old age.
This is, as was, used by Chris, London 2012. Wide forks that we use with the front discs, UKSI at every component, Chris's handlebars, the little gold bolt at the top, because Chris always used to say he used to like to look down and see the gold top of the headset, the gold bolt, and when it was race spec in London we ran gold tyres. He always used to tell me he used to think it was game on that day when he could see all those. Chris's gear, 5114, 98, lovely gear. Just won a few races on that.
Go on, let's sling the leg over it. Amazing. The last time I think the last match you raced on this bike was the Rotterdam 6-day in January 2013. I've got a picture of me on the rollers before my last race. I didn't tell it was one of these ones that I didn't really want to make a big deal about it. There'd been so much fuss and, you know, nice stuff, but you know,
Yeah.
after the games it was all just I just wanted a bit of peace and quiet. I thought if I told everybody that I was going to be retiring at the Rotterdam 6, then there'd be a big deal about, you know, all the waving to crowds and going round and you know, the kind of the media focus. Whereas I thought it was just me and Jason, and we were right in there, and there was, you know, Teo and the Dutch and all that, and we I thought this is my last week of racing, and I enjoyed it. It is a piece of history, and you know, I understand why the federation isn't able just to give away bikes whenever anyone wins an Olympic gold medal, because the bikes they get passed down to the next generation of riders, and that's fantastic. But yeah, I think it's wonderful that I've been able to get this chance to be reunited, and it will go on the wall at home, pride of place. I know where I'm going to put it already. I'm going to have it in my gym, so when I'm riding my bike or when I'm lifting weights, it'll be there to keep me entertained in between times. I was so worried that it was just going to be, and I didn't want to get my hopes up, because for years I've been trying to get hold of it, and it was like I thought it's going to get either chopped up or, you know, either going to be crashed and broken, or it'll be, you know, ditched, and then they'll have gone, ah, sorry, it's gone.
I was holding my breath every time an athlete was on it. So it come from Ryan from 2016 to Ali.
It's amazing the strength and the, you know, aside from just the performance, how strong they are.
It was just so ahead of its time though, wasn't it? I remember walking out with those forks first time in London It's like everybody thought we'd just lost the plot.
Yeah, I know. My experience of being in the British cycling team was nothing but, I mean, I'm not saying every single day was brilliant. There was tough days, of course, and that's the nature of the beast. But the joy that I experienced just walking down the corridors today, coming back down here, the number of friends, the number of moments that you experience and friends you make, lifelong friends, and you go through these extreme moments of pressure and excitement and joy and highs and lows, and you go through it together. For me, elite sport it's definitely not a negative thing. It was nothing but pleasure to be part of.
Yeah.
And as well, the number of times you took me to the line and bolted that into the start gate or onto the track.
Yeah.
And those are the moments that at the time you're so focused on the performance and the results, but you look back and they were magical times.
I remember stood with you when Vicky retired.
Mm-hmm. That was her last ride, and she'd got the silver, and she was disappointed. And there was just that the atmosphere in the crowd sort of dropped a little bit. Yeah. And it was just like, right, there's one more race. It's not over yet. And I remember just thinking, we could finish on a high. Yeah. And it was, and all the nerves and the build-up and that 4 years towards London. The most relaxed and the happiest I've felt in that 4 years was the minutes before getting on the bike. As soon as I realised, or the seconds before, once you get on the track and you sit on the bike and you're, right, we're here, I'm in my comfort zone now, I know what I'm doing in this, everything up to that point, you're just waiting. But that was the moment. And that'll put a smile on my face every time I look at it.
It put a lot of smiles on my face, building it, but it also brought tears building it, because that's the last one. And it's like, how many have I built? And last. It's like,
give me a hug, mate. Come on. Cheers.
And it's yours. It's fun. Yes, it's the last one I'm ever going to build, but it was fun building it. I love this bike to pieces. It's quite emotional just building this because it's so beautiful.
And I'd just like to say a massive thank you to British Cycling and to everybody that was involved in making this happen, but most of all to Ernie Feargrieve, who was my mechanic for many, many years, and we've shared a few memories today, this afternoon, and it's wonderful to see the bike. So thank you, Ernie. Thank you, everybody.